Prabhupada ki jai. Jayom Vishnupada Paramhansa Parivrajakacharya Ashtotter Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Shla Prabhupada ki jai. Namacharya Shla Haridas Thakur ki jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्री बस आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर्धन धाम की जय. गंगा माई की जय. जमुना माई की जय. भक्तिमती तुलसी महारानी की जय. समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय. गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Hare Guru. So we are going to read the translation. Any volunteers for the translation?
May I read?
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
The two lords, Nitai Gaurchandra, are very merciful. They are the essence of all incarnations. The specific significance of this incarnation is that they introduced a process of chanting and dancing that is simple and joyful.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Anyone else?
Yeah. My dear brother, I request that you just worship Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda with firm conviction and faith. If one wants to be Krishna conscious by this process, one has to give up his engagement in sense gratification. One simply has to chant Hare Krishna, Hari Hari without any motive. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare
Anyone
Krishna.
else? Yes, Mataji.
My dear brother, just try and examine this. Within the three worlds, there is no one like Lord Chaitanya or Lord Nityananda. Their merciful qualities are so great that upon hearing them, even birds and beasts cry and stones melt.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. The last one. Anyone would like to take the last translation? Number 4. All right. Okay. Let me just read. But Lochana Das regrets that I am entrapped by sense gratification. Since I have no attraction for the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, then Yamraj, the superintendent of that, is punishing me by not allowing me to be attracted by this movement. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashilakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarubhyacha कृपा सिंधुभ एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Hare Krishna. Okay. Hare Krishna. So today we are reading from Sri Caitanya Caritamrita, and today is a very, very auspicious day. Today is definitely Shatila Ekadashi, which is Ekadashi is itself is very, very auspicious. But along with Satsila Ekadashi, today is Makar Sankranti also. And today is the day when our Bhagavan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taken the renounced order of life. sannyas, vow of sannyasa from Keshav Bharati in the village of Katwa. So very, very auspicious day today, because this is the first Ekadashi of the year, and first Ekadashi of the year is mixed with another tithi, or is mixing with another occasion, which is Makar Sankranti. It has been said that at this particular day, the sun god, he just travels into northern side and enter into this zodiac sign, which we call Capricorn. And it's very auspicious, very, very auspicious. Bhishma Dev, he just left his body on this particular day, and he was waiting for this particular day to come so that he can leave this body. And also on this particular day, Mother Ganges, River Ganges, she descended onto this planet Earth after being pleased by the austerities of Bhagirath Muni, or King Bhagiratha. So today's day is very, very important in the life of a devotee and in a life of a human being as general, because it has been said that whatever charity, whatever austerity, whatever we are doing today, it has multiple effects. So I wish you all a very, very happy Shattila Ekadashi. And Shattila Ekadashi also have long significance, but today's discussion is not about that. So Shattila Ekadashi, I wish you a very happy Shattila Ekadashi and Makar Sankranti today. And now we are going into our Sri Caitanya Caritamrita. And thank you so much for giving me this wonderful opportunity to speak on the subject matter of Sri Caitanya Caritamrita. So Sri Caitanya Caritamrita is Sri Caitanya Caritamrita is a window inside the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Bhagwan Shri Krishna, he himself incarnated himself, when Bhagwan Shri Krishna came as an incarnation of his own devotee with the mood of Srimati Radharani, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has three external reasons and internal reasons as given to us by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in Adi Leela. And the first three external reasons, one of the reasons was that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to distribute Vraja Prema, Vraja Bhakti to all the humanity, to all the humanity. And because of this reason, Sri Bhagwan Shri Krishna, he incarnated himself. One of the reasons, Sri incarnated himself as Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And as we are progressing in our Madhya Leela, we can see that how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, actually by propagating the holy names in the entire South India, is establishing the reason for his coming. So we have not completed, we are on chapter number 7, and we are on the verge of ending this chapter. So in this particular chapter, we have seen that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to tour South India. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in order to go around in South India, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he very nicely, in a very playful mood, he chastised his devotees, but at the same time, he glorified his own devotees. And also, after taking permission from Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he started for his South Indian tour, and there, Kurmakshetra, he visited Kurmakshetra, and also there was a Brahmana by the name Kurma Brahmana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he took prasad at the home of Kurma Brahmana. And there was one other Brahmana by the name Vasudev. He was a leper, and he was being cured by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. So this much we have read in our 7th chapter of Madhya Leela in Caitanya Caritamrita. And now we are on, just give me a second, verse number 151. Is that the verse where we are in?
I thought it was 153.
Okay, 153. Thank you, Mataji. 153. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Yeah. Prabhuji, would you like to take the lead to read?
Sure. Correct. চৈতন্য লীলার আদি অন্ত নাহি জানি, সেই লিখি যেই মহান্তের মুখে শুনি।
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I admit that I do not know the beginning or end of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. However, whatever I have written, I have heard from the mouths of great personalities.
ইচ্ছে অপরাধ মোর না লইও ভক্তগণ, তোমা সবার চরণ মোর একান্ত শরণ।
O devotees, please do not consider my offenses in this regard. Your lotus feet are my only shelter. So we can see the humility of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he was a very exalted devotee. And he was the disciple of Raghunatha Das Goswami. And if we read the literature given to us by Raghunatha Das Goswami, then it just blows our minds that how scholarly and how renunciate Raghunath Das Goswami was. And Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, at a very old age, he wrote this scripture, Caitanya Caritamrita. And after every chapter, he is admitting that please do not consider my offenses, because I am not able to describe the pastime of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in totality. Of course, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord, Bhagwan Sri Krishna himself. And what to talk about any devotee? Even a Bhagwan himself cannot able to describe his own qualities in complete himself. And Krishna in 11th canto is admitting this fact in front of Uddhava. And he is saying, Uddhava, what you want to hear about my glories? I myself don't know about my glories in full. And it has been also mentioned that Ananta Shesh, he is just glorifying the pastimes, the incarnations of the Supreme Lord. But he is failed to do so. Why? Because every day the pastimes, every day incarnations of the Lord is happening, and it is not possible even for the Lord himself, who is complete in every way. Purnam Purnamidam. He is complete. It's just impossible even for the Lord to describe his own glories. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, as a very humble and meek devotee, is admitting in front of the readers of Sri Chaitanya Caritamrita that he is not capable to describe each and every pastime of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And these pastimes, if we know that these pastimes, the Adi Leela pastimes, they were being recorded by Murari Gupta. And the Madhya Leela, Ante Leela, these pastimes were recorded by Swarup Damodar Goswami. And from his notes, Raghunath Das Goswami got the access, and from his access, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami got the access. But prior to this Chaitanya Charitamrita also, there were other versions which are describing the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And they are Chaitanya Charita, Chaitanya Mangal, Chaitanya Bhagavad. And after all this literature, this Chaitanya Charitamrita has been compiled by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Prabhuji, 155.
শ্রী রূপ রঘুনাথ পদে যা আট, চৈতন্য চরিতামৃত কহে কৃষ্ণ।
Krishnadas. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunatha, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishnadas, narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps. Purport. Thus and the Bhakti Vedanta purports to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 7th chapter, describing the start of the Lord's tour of South India and the liberation of Brahmana Vasudeva. So in first chapter of Adi Leela, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has explained to us that there are three kinds of Manglacharan. Hmm? So there are three kinds of Manglacharan. So whatever notes I make for myself, I'm just sharing in the class. So there are three kinds of Manglacharan, and these three kinds of Manglacharans are Vastu Nirdeshatkamam, Ashirvad Atkamam, and Namaskar Atmakam. That means Vastu Nirdesh, which is defining the worshipable subject or the object of the chapter. And if we see in the start of every chapter, at the start of every chapter in the first verse, Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is giving the small summary of the entire chapter. So he is giving the Vastu Nirdesh. That means he is giving the objective of that chapter. He is giving the subject of that chapter at the start of every chapter in Caitanya Caritamrita. And at the end of the chapter, what kind of Manglacharan he is doing? He is doing Namaskare Atmaka. That means he is offering his obeisances onto who? Onto Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Larup Goswami, and also to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. So when at the start of the chapter, in Manglacharan is in the first verse of all the chapters in Chaitanya Charitamrita. This Vastu Nirdeshatmakam Manglacharan has been performed. And also when Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is chanting Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. At that time he is doing Ashirvad Atmakam. That means he is invoking blessings for all the readers of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So I wanted everybody, all of us to know that these Manglacharan, these three types of Manglacharan which are there in general are being used in each and every chapter of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now we are going to start a very, very important chapter. And this important chapter is called Talks Between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai. So, in general, these talks between Sri Ramananda Roy and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is establishing a philosophical clarification for Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. And these talks between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Roy is not for the people who are not inclined towards bhakti or towards understanding that the Lord Bhagavan Sri Krishna is the Supreme Person. Very, very important. It has been mentioned in this chapter that the talks between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai is only for Sajatiyas. What is Sajatiyas? Sajatiyas means that who are favorable for this kind of discussion. These talks are not for those people who are outsiders. Outsiders means who are not accepting the authority of Bhagavan Shri Krishna and Srimati Radharani. Very, very intricate subject matter has been described in this particular chapter. Relationship between Radha and Krishna and the glorification of Srimati Radharani. Radharani in her identity, in her tattva. The discussion of rasa tattva has been described in elaboration in this particular chapter. So before starting this chapter, there is a disclaimer. What is the disclaimer? That if we want to hear this chapter, that we have to keep this thing in mind that Lord Shri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Lord Shri and Srimati Radharani is her spiritual energy and Bhagavan Shri Krishna in his spiritual form perform pastimes, conjugal pastimes with his own spiritual energy. Although I am not qualified to speak on this chapter, but by the mercy of my Guru Maharaj and by the mercy of all the senior Vaishnavas, I will try to kick off this chapter. So let's just start reading the summary portion. This what has been given to us by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The summary of the 8th chapter is given by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur in his Amrit Prabhav Bhasya. So, Amrit Prabhav Bhasya is the commentary given to us by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur on the pastimes on this particular, Madhya Leela. Because Bhakti Vinod Thakur has also wrote a commentary on this Caitanya Caritamrita. After visiting the temple of Jiyad Narsimha, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the banks of river Godavari to a place known as Vidyanagar. When Srila Ramananda Rai went there to take his bath, they met. After introducing himself, Sri Ramananda Rai requested Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to remain in the village for some days. Honoring his request, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed there in the home of some Vedic Brahmanas. In the evening, Srila Ramananda Rai used to come to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ramananda Rai, who was clothed in ordinary dress, offered the Lord respectful obeisances. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu questioned him on the object and process of worship and also asked him to recite verses from the Vedic literature. First of all, Srila Ramananda Rai enunciated the system of the Varanashram institution. He recited various verses about karma arpanam, stating that everything should be dedicated to the Lord. He then spoke of detached action, knowledge mixed with devotional service, and finally, the spontaneous loving service of the Lord. After hearing Srila Ramananda Rai recite some verses, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the principle of pure devotional service devoid of all kinds of speculation. After this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Ramananda Rai to explain the higher platform of devotional service. Then Srila Ramananda Rai explained unalloyed devotional service, love of Godhead, and serving the Lord in the moods of pure servitude, fraternity, and parental love. Finally, he spoke of serving the Lord in conjugal love. He then spoke of how conjugal love can be developed in various ways. This conjugal love attains its highest perfection in Srimati Radharani's love for Krishna. He next described the position of Srimati Radharani and the transcendental mellows of love of God. Srila Ramananda Rai then recited a verse of his own concerning the platform of ecstatic vision, technically called Prema Vilas Vivarta. Srila Ramananda Rai also explained that all stages of conjugal love can be attained through the mercy of the residents of Vrindavan, especially by the mercy of gopis. All these subject matters were thus vividly described. Gradually, Ramananda Rai could understand the position of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited his real form, Ramananda Rai fell unconscious. After some days, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Ramananda Rai to retire from government service and come to Jagannath Puri. These descriptions of the meetings between Ramananda Rai and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are taken from the notebook of Swarup Damodar Goswami. So this is a summary, a short summary of this entire chapter 8. And this summary, when we read this summary, it's like what's going on? What's the conversation is going on? So I am going to read this first verse, text verse, and I'm going to share a presentation with you, which I made out of my own notes, so that the summary of the chapter can make some sense, so that when we dig into this chapter further, it will be easier for us to understand what's going on. So text number 1. Prabhuji, do you want to read?
I can do. Caitanya Ramadhita Bhaktameghe Bhavakti Siddhanto Jaya Amritani Gauradhivi Etai Amuna Bhitinai Tejo Gadva Ratnalayatam Prayati.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Translation. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is known as Gauranga, is the ocean of all conclusive knowledge. In devotional service, he empowered Sri Ramananda Rai, who may be linked to a cloud of devotional service. This cloud was filled with the water of all the conclusive purports of devotional service and was empowered by the ocean to spread this water over the sea of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Thus, the ocean of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became filled with the jewels of the knowledge of pure devotional service. So, as I said, that Srila Krishnadasa Kaviraj Goswami, in the first text of all the chapters in Sri Caitanya Caritamrita, is giving the Vastu Nirdesh, or the objective or the subject which is going to be described in detail in the chapter. He is giving a very small summary. So let's just see what's happening in this chapter, so that whenever we dig into this more, okay, something happened. I don't know what happened. Am I sharing my screen? No.
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 Now it's there.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. So the first verse, that's what has been explained by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami by giving a very nice analogy. And what is that nice analogy? That analogy is that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he himself is the ocean of knowledge, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, right? He is Bhagavan Shri Krishna. And one of the qualities of Bhagavan Shri Krishna is Jnanam. Jnanam means knowledge. He is full of knowledge. Is one of the 64 qualities is that he is full of Jnanam. He is knowledgeable, all knowledgeable. So this is the ocean of knowledge which is compared by Sri Chaitanya with Chaitanya, Bhagavan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Ramananda Rai, who is Ramananda Rai? So there is a very small book, I have this book also. This book is Sri Gaur Ganedesh Deepika. So this book describes the identity of all the people, all the personalities who are taking part in Caitanya Caritamrita, in the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Ramananda Rai is described as Vishaka Saki. So he is Vishaka Saki, and Bhagavan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Bhagavan Shri Krishna, with the mood of Srimati Radharani. And he is full of knowledge. But in this chapter, we can see that Ramananda Rai is the one who is explaining or who is answering the questions which are being put up by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we are going to see the process. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to admit at the end of the chapter that I am a poor Mayavadi sannyasi. I am a poor sannyasi. I don't know about Ras Tattva. Only because of the association of you, Ramananda, I get to taste the jewel of the prem of Bhagavan Shri Krishna and Radharani. So this analogy has been given, that ocean is compared with Bhagavan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this, when the sun is very bright and the sun's heat is taking the water from whom? From the ocean and becoming as cloud. With the evaporation, condensation is happening and clouds are forming. So these clouds are Ramananda Roy. They are compared with Ramananda Roy. And these clouds now again with the heat of sun, now they are giving the back this water into the same ocean. So that means Ramananda Rai is getting the knowledge or getting the information about the intimate pastimes of Radha and Krishna from Krishna only, from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only. But he is, after attaining that, he is pouring that knowledge back into the same ocean. So that's the analogy which has been given in verse first. And then we can see that in the summary, Srila Prabhupada is speaking. Srila Prabhupada is saying that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, first of all, he had darshan of Jiyad Narsimhadev. So this is the deity of, this is the temple of Jiyad Narsimha in Simbhachala. In Simbhachala, this place is few miles, situated on the top of the hill from Vishakhapatnam, in South India. And this is a very, very famous temple, and famous temple of two deities, Lord Varaha and Lord Narsingadev. So both Varahadev and Narsingadev, they are together in one deity form. And there is a long story which has been published in one of the Vishakhapatnam local newspaper about this particular temple. That the deity, this is the deity here, this deity of Varha Narsimha, has this deity has always been, covered with sandalwood paste. Sandalwood paste. Why? Because there is a story behind it. And what's the story? The story is that actually Prahlada, he established this deity. This is the deity without sandalwood paste. So this deity, during once in the year, this deity has been, come like this. Varadev, and this small mouth, this small face is of Sri Narsingadev. So Bhagwan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has darshan of this Jiyad Narsimha temple. And the story which has been given in the local newspaper of South of Vishakhapatnam, which is also called Vizag, is that this particular temple, this particular deity has been installed by Prahlad Maharaj himself. But with the duration of time, this deity has been lost. But later on, this deity has been recovered by Maharaj Pururuva and Urvashi. And in the dreams, in the dream of Urvashi, Bhagwan spoke to her that cover my deity form with the sandalwood paste. So after her dream, this tradition has been followed till now. And this is the beautiful deity of Jiyad Narsimhadev. And there is one Vijaya Murti also. I don't know if I have captured that here. No. So our Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he had darshan of Jiyad Narsim. And after that, he went on to the bank of Godavari, where he saw who? He saw Ramananda Rai. He saw Ramananda Rai. And after looking at Ramananda Rai, because Ramananda Rai is Vishakha Sakhi, so both of them, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai, they embraced each other and they were feeling the symptoms of ecstatic emotions. But because other, as I said, outsiders, or we can say that those people who will not be able to understand the emotions of love for Supreme Lord, they were also standing. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he curbed his feelings of ecstatic emotion at that time. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu informed Ramananda Rai that I have been told by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya about you, and that's why I want to meet you. Maybe just meet in a private place, and there I want to ask you certain questions. And then next evening, Ramananda Roy, there was a discussion between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Roy. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked this particular central question, that what is the highest goal? What is the highest goal? That means, what is the highest goal of human life? What is the sadhya? Who is sadhya? And what is the best sadhana to achieve that goal? Sadhya. And Sri Ramananda Roy is going to give so many answers to this particular question. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will keep saying, Aho Bhaya, Aage kaha ar. That means it's external. External means you are just telling me about the duties of this body, not the duty of this Atma, of this soul. So tell me more, tell me more. This is external. I am not interested in hearing the highest goal of this body. I'm interested in hearing Jaiva Dharma, Jiva Dharma. I'm interested in hearing the highest goal for this living entity. So tell me this. So Sri Ramananda Roy started with Varnashram system. As Varnashram system, this Bhagwan Sri Krishna also talked about this Varnashram system in Bhagavad Gita. But again, this Varnashram system is different Varnas and different ashramas. Varnas are Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and ashrama Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa ashram. So again, these all this all Varnas and ashramas, they all are bodily goals. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected it as saying Baya, social and bodily duties. And then in order to prove this Varnashram Dharma point, Ramananda Roy quotes from Vishnu Puran. We are going to see all this in detail as we proceed in this particular chapter. This is just the surface understanding. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected it as Bhaya, aage kaha. So then Sri Ramananda Roy explained about Karma Arpanam. Karma Arpanam is what? Karma Arpanam is whatever you are doing, whatever fruits of whatever activities you are doing, just offer the fruits of those activities to Bhagwan. That's called karma arpana. But in that particular thing also, there is the knowledge that I am body. And I am body. And because I am a Vaishya or I am a Shudra, I am a Brahmana, whatever activities, prescribed duties I am doing, so I have to give these results to Bhagwan. And in order to prove this, Ramanand Roy has given BG 9.27. Yat karosi, yad asnasi, yad juhosi, dadasi sad. That whatever you do, just offer to Bhagwan. And then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, it is also external because the consciousness that I am a body is mixed with this. Aage kaha, that aage, that explain me further. And then Ramananda Rai said, Swadharma Tyaga. That means now not only offering the fruits of the activities, now just offer your own activities. That means just renounce your activities, renounce your occupational duty. And in order to prove that, Ramananda Rai gave Srimad Bhagavatam 11:11:32 and also BG 18.66 Sarva Dharman Paritajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Braja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshishyami Mashucha. And then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then said, आगे कहा Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu even rejected this. And then Ramananda Roy, he mentioned about what? Jnana Mishra Bhakti. He said that this bhakti, we can perform this bhakti, but we can take the assistance of knowledge, jnana. But in this particular field also, there is a mixture of jnana, knowledge, anya vilashita shunyam, jnana karmadi anavratam. So this was not there. So this is not the pure bhakti. So again, because it lacks rasa and intimacy. And in order to prove his point, Ramananda Roy gave the praman or reference from BG 18.54. Brahma Bhuta Prasanna Atma. Yeah. Brahma Bhuta Prasanna Atma. Na sochati na kankshati. That was that the one who knows about Brahman, Brahma Bhuta Prasanna Atma, he is the one. He gave from Bhagavad Gita. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Aage kaha. And that speak more. But here, now, Ramananda Roy understood what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu want to know from me. And then he explained about pure devotional service, which is without any tinge of any activity or any gyan of impersonalism. Whenever we speak about refraining karma and jnana in bhakti, that particular jnana is the knowledge of impersonal Brahman, or gaining the knowledge of the effulgence of the Lord. Impersonal knowledge is being rejected. When there is a shloka of pure devotional service by Srila Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, he is giving Anya Abhilashita Shunyam Gyan Karmadi Anavritam. What jnana there is? Jnana there is the knowledge of impersonal Brahman. So, free from karma and jnana. And for making his point stronger, Sri Ramananda Roy gave example from 10:14:3. This verse is being spoken by Brahmaji himself to Bhagavan. That without Gyan, Bhagavan, in order to attain Bhagavan, there is no need to attain impersonal knowledge. So this is true devotional service. And now here, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Eho Haya. That means this is the one. This is the one. Eho Haya. But Aage Kahaya. That means speak more. Speak more. And then Sri Chaitanya Ramananda Rai spoke about Prema Bhakti. He said that there is a bhakti, or there is a devotional process through which we can attain bhakti, and there are two ways. One is Vidhi Bhakti, which can be performed on the basis, on the strength of, or which can be performed with very little love, but can be dominated by the scriptural rules and regulations. And the second process is Raganuga Bhakti. This Raganuga Bhakti is what? The Raganuga Bhakti is when there is intense greed to obtain the mood of an eternal resident of Vrindavana. And this raga, this lobha has been given by the mercy of eternal resident only. And why the eternal resident will give you mercy? Why you are those so special? For that reason, we prayed to the eternal resident in order to achieve that mood. But why I am praying? Because I heard about Krishna. I heard about Krishna, and that's why I become so intensely absorbed in the mood of Manjari, or in the mood of any eternal associate of the Lord, that I want to obtain that mood. So a devotee start praying to that eternal resident of the Vraja. So that's called Raganuga Bhakti. But again, in Raganuga Bhakti also a devotee has to follow scriptural rules and regulations, because the sadhya, or the ultimate goal, can only be achieved by this. And then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at this time, you know what he said? Aho Uttama. That this is the best. Aho Uttama. Okay, best. But Aage Kahaya. Speak more. What's more? So now Sri Ramananda Rai gave the progression in rasas. What are the rasas? Neutral adoration, Shanta rasa, Dasya rasa, servitorship, friendship, parental affection, progression. So Sri Ramananda Rai said all these things. And then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Aho, this is the one. Aage kaha. That speak more. And then Sri Ramananda Rai started speaking about Madhurya Ras, that conjugal love between the gopis and Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Conjugal love of the gopis. And Rasalila chapter 29 to 33, he started mentioning. That's the highest rasa. Now Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he went into so much ecstasy, but he said, Aage kaha, speak more, speak more. And then Ramananda Rai says that out of this Parikiya Bhav, that means the love for a Paramar is even greatest. Because Krishna has wives in Dwarka and Krishna has lovers in Vrindavana. So Parikiya Bhav, that's the Paramar love. That's the rasa which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is looking. And is very, very pleasing to Krishna. Parikiya Bhava. And after that, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Aha Utma, Aage kaha. And then Sri Ramananda Rai said about out of this Out of all the gopis, two gopis, Chandravali and Radharani, they are the supreme. And out of these two, Srimati Radharani is the crust jewel of the gopis, and she is the embodiment of Mahabhava. So after prema, also there are stages of intensifying love. And these stages are called sneha, mana, pranaya, raga, anuraga, bhava, mahabhava. And Radharani is the embodiment of Mahabhava. And also this Mahabhava has also been further identified as Modan Akhe Mahabhav and Mohan Akhe Mahabhav. Out of these two, Radharani is even superior in Modan Akhe Mahabhav. So this is another discussion. But here, Sri Ramananda Rai, spoke about Srimati Radharani, that her love controls Krishna. And after this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was in complete ecstasy, and then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Aage kaha yaar. And then, at that particular point of time, Sri Ramananda Roy spoke the compilation of verses which are called Prem Vilas Vivartava. Sorry, Prem Vilas Vivarta. This Prem Vilas Vivarta is not an ordinary thing. This Prem Vilas Vivarta is actually a very intimate relationship between Srimati Radharani and Bhagwan Shri Krishna. Ramananda Rai has called Bhagwan Shri Krishna Dhira Lalita. That means that he is the one who enjoys conjugal loving pastimes with Srimati Radharani in private. And these conjugal loving pastimes have been composed by Ramananda Roy in this Prema Vilas Vivarta. And this Prema Vilas Vivarta is, nobody is eligible to hear this except those, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's so intimate pastimes of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. So let me share our this verse number 2. So this is the summary, as I explained, of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's summary of this chapter 8, summary of this entire chapter. So when we go deeper into this chapter now, because we have seen the presentation, the step-by-step discussion, we can understand what Ramananda Rai is saying, speaking to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I again repeat my words that this chapter is one of the main highlights of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's South India tour. Because not only did Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fulfill his external mission, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also fulfilling one of his internal reasons of coming here, which is tasting the love of Srimati Radharani. That's what has been given in this chapter, which we can find in Antelila. And, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to go into Gambhira. We are going to read when we reach to Antelila. So this chapter is very, very important and full of Rasa Tattva. And the identity of Srimati Radharani has been is going to be disclosed in this chapter. So very powerful chapter. So let's just go in text too, because there will not be any much purport. So maybe we can read this. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda. So we read 3 Manglacharan today, 3 types of Manglacharan. Which is this type? Ashirvadatmakam. All glories to Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to Lord Nityananda. All glories to Advaita Acharya. And all glories to all the devotees of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhuji, would you mind reading 8.3?
Sure. পূর্বরিতে প্রভু আগে গমন করিলা জিয়ড়গড় নৃসিংহ ক্ষেত্রে কতদিন গেলা.
According to his previous program, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went forward on his tour and after some days arrived at the place of pilgrimage known as Jiyad Narsimha. Purport. The Jiyad Narsimha temple is situated on the top of a hill about 5 miles away from Vishakhapatnam. There is a railway station on the South Indian Railway known as Simbhachala. The temple known as Simbhachala is the best temple in the vicinity of Vishakhapatnam. This temple is very affluent and is a typical example of the architect of the area. We have already seen the pictures of this temple in the presentation. On one stone tablet, it is mentioned that formerly a queen covered the deity with gold plate. And the queen which has been mentioned here is Urvashi, the wife of Puruvarava. This is mentioned in the Vishakhapatnam gadget. Among the gazetteer, about the temple, there are residential quarters for the priest and devotees. Indeed, at the present moment, there are many residential quarters to accommodate visiting devotees. The original deity is situated with the depths of the temple, but there is another deity, a duplicate known as Vijayamurti. So if we search on Google, Vijayamurti of Simbhachala, it's actually a very beautiful deity of Narsingadev and Lakshmi Devi. I don't know how I forgot to put it in presentation, but yeah, there is a Vijay Murti, or there is a Vijay Murti is the those idols which can be moved around for the festivals. They are not installed idols. The smaller deity can be moved from the temple and taken on public processions. Priests who generally belong to the Ramanuja Sampradaya are in charge of the deity worship. We already saw this temple in the presentation, and there was Sri Vaishnav Tilaka. So that means that this temple belongs to the Sri Vaishnav Sampradaya. Okay, text 4.
নৃসিংহ দেখিয়া কইল দণ্ডবৎ প্রণতি প্রেমাবেশে কইল বহু নিত্য গীতি স্তুতি.
Upon seeing the deity of Lord Nrsimha in the temple, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered his respectful obeisances by falling flat. Then in ecstatic love, he performed various dances, chanted, and offered prayers. 8.5.
শ্রী নৃসিংহ জয় নৃসিংহ জয় জয় নৃসিংহ প্রহ্লাদেশ জয় পদ্মমুখ পদ্মভৃঙ্গ.
Shri Narsimha Jai Narsimha Jai Jai Narsimha Praladesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa. These are the words came out from the mouth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he saw the deity of deity at Jiyad Narsimha. I don't, let me see if I have, sorry. I just lost that. Okay, so there is a very wonderful deity of Narsingadev, Bhagwan Narsingadev, which is a Vijaya Murti. And so here they are talking about that deity. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he danced in ecstasy. All glories to Narsimhadev, all glories to Narsimhadev, who is the Lord of Prahlad Maharaj, and like a honeybee is always engaged in beholding the lotus face of the goddess of fortune. That all glories to Narsimhadev, who takes so much pleasure in seeing the face of Mother Lakshmi. And he who is the Lord of Prahlad Maharaj. That's the translation for these beautiful, wonderful words of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The purport. The goddess of fortune is always embraced by Lord Nrsimhadev. This is mentioned in the commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, written by great commentator Srila Sridhara Swami. The following verse was composed by Sridhara Swami in his commentary on 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 1087:1. Vageshya yasya vadane lakshmir yasya cha vakakshi yasyate hardaye samvit tam nrsimham aham bhaje. Lord Nrsimhadev is always assisted by Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and he is always embracing the goddess of fortune to his chest. The Lord is always complete in knowledge within himself. Let us offer obeisances unto Lord Nrsimhadev. Similarly, in his commentary on the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 1:1:1, Sridhar Swami describes Lord Nrsimhadev in this way. Prahlada Hirdayaladam Bhakta Vidya Vidaranam Sharad Indu Ruchim Vande Parindra Vadanam Harim. Let me offer my obeisances all to Lord Nrsimha, who is always enlightening Prahlad Maharaj within his heart and who always kills the nuisance that attacks the devotees. His mercy is distributed like moonshine, and his face is like that of a lion. Let me offer my obeisances unto him again and again. So here is the proof that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually visited a beautiful temple of Jayad Narsimhadev, where he paid obeisances to the Vijaya Murti, which is Larshingadev and Mother Lakshmi. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, from his mouth, these words came, because many times it has been said that Srila Prabhupada, he only established the deities of Narsimhadev in the temples. So it's coming from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, our beloved Acharya. Srila Prabhupada has followed this movement, this line of Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, and thus Sri Chaitanya and thus Srila Prabhupada has established these wonderful deities of Lord Narsimhadev in the temples of ISKCON. So all glories to Srila Prabhupada, who has given us these wonderful purports, who has given us this wonderful understanding. And if we see the purports of Srila Prabhupada is taking the commentary from Srila Sridhar Swami, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan in Bhagavad Gita. So if we see that the purports of Srila Prabhupada is the combination of all the jewels which Srila Prabhupada, has taken from the mines of jewels, which is otherwise very difficult for us to access. So all glories to our beloved Acharya Srila Prabhupada, and he has given us so much treasure in Caitanya Caritamrita, in Srimad Bhagavatam, in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, that millions of mouths will not be enough to describe the glories of Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So with this, I'm going to stop here. From next time onwards, text 6 will be, the other speaker is going to take this. But again, this chapter is very important, describing the intimate. It's going to describe the very important tattva, which is Radharani, and also going to explain the whole philosophy, whole line, how we can, move forward from Varnashram Dharma to Karma Arpanam, from Karma Arpanam to Swadharma Tyaga, and from that Swadharma Tyaga, Jnana Mishra Bhakti, then Jnana Shunya Bhakti, then after Jnana Shunya Bhakti, pure devotional service, and then the service attitude for relationship, and out of this conjugal love, and then out of that conjugal love, Parikiya Bhava. So in today's class, we have summarized this chapter 8 so that it will be helpful for us in future when we are digging into this chapter to understand. And also we learnt about 3 types of Mangalacharan. We had a good fortune to see the deity form of Jayad Narsimhadev and to know more about the temple. And with this, I'm going to stop my speech. If anybody has any comments or questions or connections, please, this is the time. And if anything you like in the presentation, the credit goes to Srila Prabhupada, my Gurudev, and all the senior Vaishnavas to whom I'm learning, and also to all of you, because you are the audience. Very important part of any discussion is audience. And I might have made so many mistakes in my presentation, so please forgive me for that, and please bless me that today's Ekadashi bring a growth in my spiritual life. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Okay, any questions, any comments? If not, then we can stop here. All right. Thank you so much for joining. Wishing you a very, very happy Krishna conscious Ekadashi and Makar Sankranti. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyacha kripa sindhuvaya patita